Good morning, guys. I'm in a bit of a rush right now. This is part 3 working on the Del Sol swap. I've already got pretty much everything out there, got all the suspension over here beside me on the pavement. I power washed it all off and degreased it, so I have to press all the old bushings out because the new one's pressed in today. And to reiterate what I said a few videos ago, I have to delete power steering. I was just looking at a bunch of stuff. I was about to head to the junkyard actually to go get the bracket and stuff until I realized that there's absolutely no room to fit my secondary tensioner, and without that tensioner I do not feel confident in that timing belt. Just because, like I said, it's shorter head, whatever, so I need that extra tension on that belt to be safe, and especially since it's the daily, I'd rather just have to struggle with no power steering than jump a tooth on timing or something. But right now I am going to go get coffee and then try and get a hold of AD because he has the AC bracket, and then I got to swing by Honda because I need a throttle bearing and a clutch release fork. But yeah, so a lot of work to do. This is going to be fun. I'm excited, but I'd like some help. So let's get this day started. Whee! You already know. You're super blown out. You're really white. There you go.
Yeah. Stay white.
Stay white. Stay tight. So AD, like I said, had the AC bracket for me, and I called Acura. They weren't able to get the clutch release bearing or the fork until maybe Wednesday, he said, if I'm lucky. So AD had one sitting from his GSR, so it should work. I'm gonna get home, clean it up, try and figure it out, and I'll just buy him another one. But as always, coming in clutch, so appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
So back at home now, and again, big thank you to AD for coming in clutch again. So I got all the suspension stuff off the car. So I got a bit of an issue though. Let me kind of show you what I'm working with. I'm probably just gonna have to continue cutting this off. But that toe arm right there, the bolt, the bushing, the inner bushing sleeve seized up to the bolt. So I'm trying to cut through it. I'm probably going to try and burn through it really quick, see if that does anything, like heat it up really good, and see if the bushing sleeve will break free from the bolt. Yeah, I don't know what else really to do other than cut it, but if I cut it, I'm going to have to get like a new Sawzall blade or go get bigger flapper or cut off wheels, because I tried cutting it last night, and my wheel was not big enough and only got about halfway through. So, I don't know. But once I get that off or figure out a solution, I will update you guys. So my brother was able to get the bolt off because he is much better with a cut-off wheel and much more ballsy than I am. They scare me. But yeah, we got the toe arm off, so all is well. I got an extra bolt here thanks to AD as well. Huge shout out for the 3rd time. So now I can go ahead and focus on getting these bushings pressed out of everything. I got a press in the back, so around the corner. But yeah, I got both trailing arm bushings and then all the suspension bushings, and then over here, what I just showed you guys is I was burning this bushing off because it had recessed or like mushroomed over the bolt, so I couldn't get the rest of this sway bar bolt off. So that should be good now. I'll just have to pick at it, and yeah. So yeah, time to press everything in. So this has proven to be pretty difficult. Yeah, I'm still working on the first arm. I think I just got the first bushing loose. Yeah, there we go. Now it's starting to come out. Tried using a rotor as like a stopping point, and it just straight broke the rotor in half. So alright, there we go. Got the one out. Now I'm gonna just work my way through the rest of them and then break out the new ones. struggling extremely bad to get these rear bushings out, so Right now I'm just trying to get the fronts sorted out. So I got the fronts here, they are part numbers 2274. So yeah, these ones just go in this section, and then these ones here go in this section. These are for the compensator arms, and they do send you instructions with each kit, or with each set, and you're gonna want to use a bunch of this supplied lubricant that they give you. This stuff is really sticky, like thick. It's really weird. I don't know, but it works well. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, use plenty of this. You might want to wear some gloves though, because this stuff takes forever to wash off your hands. So with the front control arm bushings pressed in, the rear lower control arms are no good now. They are bent. So while I'm waiting for somebody to message me with control arms, I just posted up in a few Facebook groups, put in my power steering lube kit, except for, like I said before, JB and I were mistaken. We thought mine was a two line loop or whatever. Mine's a 3. So I put his fittings on, but then that leaves me one extra empty hole. So pretty much all I just did was I took the fitting that was in the 3rd hole, cut the hard line, cleaned it up, and then I just welded it shut, so that way it's just a little round tab. But yeah, so that's gonna take care of that. With the power steering now deleted, the engine is basically ready to go in. I'd need to do the inner tie rods yet. I was just about to move on to that. It's not gonna be fun, I don't think. But yeah, I'm kind of stressing about these control arms right now, but I think other than those rear lower control arms, I think everything's pretty much ready to go back together. I got to do the trailing arm bushings yet. Hopefully that shouldn't be too hard. Those usually go decently smooth. But yeah, stressful day, making some progress, just running into more complications than I would like. Alright, so right now I'm doing the inner tie rods, and I already got the one put on just to make sure it would go on smoothly. And so here's the, what is this, passenger side? But yeah, they come with this little bit of anti-seize type stuff, so I'm just putting that on the threads here, and yeah, and put the little cap on. Just go put this on the car quick, and then I can start. Actually, yeah, once this is on, then the engine bay is pretty much done. I have to go to O'Reilly's to get inner rod boots quick, and then a can of touch-up paint to go where the battery tray was. But other than that, then the motor is ready to technically go in, and I'm still trying to figure out this control arm situation. Still waiting on people, so we'll see. Alright, so this is pretty easy when you've got the tie rod tool. So I'm gonna just go ahead and thread this on here, hand tight like that, and get your little bit here for the tool, and then here's the actual tool. Just kind of tedious to do because it likes to fall off. So tighten it up by hand. Now that it's tight by hand, give it the good old snug up with the breaker bar. Alright, inner rods are on. Good for some boots and then some outers. So it's been a few hours since I last talked to you guys. Not gonna lie, today has totally sucked. I am way behind where I want it to be. It's just been one little issue after another. Main issue just being those rear lower control arms. So I'm gonna have to hit the junkyard in the morning and get some of those. I just had DJ, he was in the area, so he stopped by, DJ with the CRX. So yeah, so we got the trailing arm bushings pressed in. I had to make my own little tool. Let me go grab that, let me show you guys. Alright, so this is what I used to get the trailing arm bushings in. I took both of the old bushings out of each arm and I just welded them together. And then I just welded on some steel on the bottom so that way I could have a flat plane, because I tried doing it with just the cup because it's the same size, you know, bushing to bushing, but it just kept slipping the edges and it was starting to dig into the ring on the new bushings. And then I just welded this plate on top so I had a flat surface to push on. But yeah, so just basically cylinder with space to fit over the sleeve, and you can tell I got pretty beat up as it's all indented, but still works. But yeah, got these bushings pushed in pretty easily, thankfully. Speaking of bushings, one of the issues I ran into today is that energy suspension no longer sends you sway bar bushings. to actually bolt the sway bars to the chassis. They send you the end links, but the other sway bar bushings are not in the kits anymore. So, which is frustrating because they don't tell you that. It's a master kit. You think it had everything. You don't realize it until you read the instructions after you've opened it and spent $180 on it. So I have to wait, see if O'Reilly's. I have to go pick up my tie rod boots here in a minute and see if O'Reilly's has those that they can get a hold of me. They're going to be special orders, so hopefully they can have them by like maybe tomorrow or Monday. But right now I'm taking the transmission off because I need the hardware off of it to mate the B series tranny to the B20Vtec. And then I got the sway bar end links bolted up. I got the compensator arms bushings on and bolted up. So at this point all that's holding me up now is those rear control arms and the sway bar bushings, and the rest is just assembly. So hopefully I will be getting the motor in here in the next like hour or so. Been at this all day though, so I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be out here. Got 2 more days this weekend. Yeah, it's been a crappy day. I don't know why I said I needed to separate the tranny when I didn't. I just needed the hardware off of it. So I just put my rear mount in, touched up the corner with the spray paint, which actually I just used metallic Rust-Oleum blue. Looks pretty darn close. I mean, you can see it's a bit darker, obviously, new paint to old paint. I got the, obviously, I think I showed you guys putting this tie rod on. So I've got both inner rods on. I just replaced the rack bushings. I did my power steering loop. And I think I showed you guys that I had to weld that because I only had the 2-prong or 2-port hose, whatever. Deleted the rest of the power steering stuff. Ball joints are good. Those are good. The outer freaking end links are good. Compensator arm is good. I just have to get the other bushings for here that I don't know where mine went. They literally disappeared. Trailing arm bushings, bueno. So stoked on that. Yeah, so here I've got my OEM shift linkage, and then my little bushing. Got the clutch and pressure plate, header, throw bearing, fork, axles. Yeah, so I gotta get a flange. Yeah, this is all over the place. I'm sure this whole video has kind of been everywhere, but I just wanted to at least get something filmed to make myself feel productive. I need to go get food right now, and I need to go get a longer bolt because on these energy suspension bushings for here, where it holds that big bushing on the rack, it's thicker than OEM, especially since OEM is 26 years old and squished. So I need a little bit longer bolt for the top. So I have to go get that, and I have to go pick up my boots. So I will be back, and if I continue to film through the night, if I get the engine in tonight, I will be sure to show you guys. Moving on to the second day now. I just got back from the junkyard and Emiliano's house. Thanks to Emiliano for hooking up with a half shaft. And I have to go to the junkyard to get new control arms and sway bar bushings until mine come in. So right now I'm trying to mate the tranny to the block so I can bolt the motor in before my dad has had to work because my brother is AFK, and I don't know where, well, I can't put it in by myself. So I'm gonna do this. And then, yeah, once the motor is bolted in, once I can find over to put the tripod, yeah, once the engine's bolted in, then I can go ahead and try and get the rest of the bushings pressed out. I think these new control arms should go a lot smoother, because they are, I don't know, they look pretty well taken care of, I guess. They're not all rusted out like the other ones were, so.
I got one dowel in there.
Got the tranny mated, and then I realized I didn't put the clutch on, so doing the clutch right now. I had to make my own clutch tool, alignment tool. This one has the right, like, what is it, pilot bearing size, and the other one has the right spline size, so I just kind of use this as a measurement. I just took it to the other one to the grinder and trimmed it down, so now I'm just torquing it up. I don't know, some people might tell you to do it in 3 stages. I'm just doing it that way to be safe. So doing 10, 14, then 19 foot-pounds. I know 19 foot-pounds isn't a lot at all. It's probably like as much as my little Milwaukee electric ratchet puts out, but I like playing it safe. So with the tranny and everything mated, I just actually tried to go bend out those, or press out those bushings on those control arms. Bent one of them, so luckily it was one that I had an extra of, but I just went and spent 50 bucks basically for no reason. So I'm gonna just have to end up using these OEM beat up bushings in these arms until I can afford some like Skunk 2 or Voodoo 13 rear lower control arms, because I'm not gonna risk bending the others because I need something on the car. So yeah, apparently I'm just not meant to have those rear arms in. So I'm gonna start putting the rest of the suspension together up front, so that way I can have the space clear to roll the engine hoist in here. So the subframe and everything, the control arms, they're all bolted up, they're all good to go. So it is literally just a matter of putting it all back together right now, because I got my brake calipers sitting up here. So a lot of work. I feel like I've made no progress this video, but I mean, I guess some progress is better than no progress. I gotta go grab the jack so I can hoist this thing up, but yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in a few minutes once I get this done. So I got all the front suspension put together, minus the strut fork, so that way I can put the axle in or whatever. So all that is good to go on both sides. Got new rod boots in. Right now I'm just working on putting the trailing arms on, so I got these aftermarket tow rods because mine were obliterated, and obviously I had to cut the one out. So I'll be using these, and we'll see how they work. I mean, yeah, there we go. It's supposed to be facing like that. But I don't know. Yeah, so I'm gonna just go ahead and slap the trailing arms on, get these all bolted up, and then once the trailing arms are up and good, then I will somehow find a way to drag the motor out here, because I can't fit the engine stand through here, because it will definitely not fit and get caught up in the dirt and won't be a fun time. So yeah, gotta figure that out. But yeah, finish getting the rear suspension up, and then I can worry about dropping the motor in. Again with another update. Trailing arms, brake lines, all of this is good to go on both sides. Let me darken that up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so rear end is completely good to go. Like I said before, I'm using the stock control arms, the stock bushings, because I have to order new ones. But yeah, whatever. I gotta put the brake dust shield on, but 2 bolts, and then tighten down the toe arms. The toe is probably gonna be totally just wrecked, but I'm not driving this thing until I go get the alignment. So the alignment shop is like 2 miles up the street, so I think the car will be okay till then. Oh, it looks so bad. Yeah, it's definitely towed in. So now is the challenge of trying to get the motor up here. So I don't really know how I'm gonna do this. I might have to try and like roll it onto the creeper and then roll the creeper up here, but the creeper doesn't like to roll. I don't know, maybe I'll think like an Egyptian or something and like use some logs or something and just like keep stacking them in front of each other and rolling the engine that way or something. Gotta get creative. So there's a pain in the butt, and it's not totally on there, but it's on here enough so I can roll it up there and get it up on the hoist. So that'll work. I think I got the front end high enough. I decided to go under instead of over. Yeah, I think I should be able to slide it through, because I'm by myself today. My brother's I don't know, long night or something, so he's asleep and nobody's answering their phones today. I get it, it's Memorial Weekend, so it is what it is. So I need to figure this out myself, and this was my solution. I don't like lifting the front of the car like this. It just sketches me out. And my dog absolutely hates the jack, and she's like about to have a heart attack over here because she's like freaking out about it. So I'm gonna catch my breath here because that took a lot out of me trying to move this motor over here. Yeah, and try and load this in here in just a moment. It should be pretty easy just dropping it straight down. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. Just line the engine up and then slowly work my way down. So I quickly realized that I can't get the car low enough or the engine high enough because I don't have like an actual engine cart, and I don't have time to make one right now. So I positioned it as evenly as I could in the bay, and now I am just using the hoist to pull it up to the mounts. So far so good. Too high. So on to day 3 of this crap. Engine is in. I think the last clip I was putting the engine mounts in. I told you guys I didn't want to fight with them. Well, I spent 2 hours trying to get the T-bracket in yesterday before I gave up and got pissed off and started putting everything else in. So the rest of the engine bay is put together minus the airbox right now because I just took that out. Basically, this morning what I had to do is unbolt the engine, hoist it up, like levitate it or whatever in the engine bay, put the rear bracket all the way on, and then fight forever to get these other bolts in. So I may have cross-threaded one of these bolts on the post mount, so I don't want to find out right now. All I know is that something isn't right, or it's just because these mounts are super new and the urethane isn't broken in yet. But here it is, good to go. Now I can actually start putting everything back together. So just ran into a little bit of an issue hooking up the harness. I realized that these injectors are not the same. So these two end injectors, I just swapped this end one. I just want to show you guys this one. But these two end injectors, I think we ended up using different ones, like on the B20 motor when we got it originally, and then these two are the original DA ones. So these two connectors plugged in, but these ones didn't because they have this little third tab here. So I'm just swapping the injectors off the D series. I called AD, he looked it up for me. They're all 240cc injectors, so they will be perfectly fine. So I'm just swapping those out. Got the other one right there, and I got some buildup on these ones. Someone wipe that off while I'm at it, but I'm doing this. Got this side of the harness plugged up, that side. Just finishing routing it. And then engine harness will be good. And yeah, one piece at a time, I suppose. But so now that I got the half shaft in and sealed up and straightened out, I'm gonna put the axles in now. So I just ended up buying brand new 94 to 01 Integra axles just for the LS. And this should fit. I just checked the hub size and it does fit the hub. But my stupid self went ahead and put the ball joints and tie rods on, so I gotta separate those, pull the knuckle out so I can, you know, slide this in. Won't take but a minute. So go ahead and do that, and then that'll have pretty much the whole front end taken care of. Got the axles in now, got the hubs, everything all bolted up. The front end is good to go. I just rested the fenders on here. I gotta put the bolts in yet. But everything so far is pretty much good to go. I think the last bit of the actual engine bay stuff that I got to do is make a throttle bracket, get a coolant line, extend a couple wires, and make a little jumper harness or AD's actually making me a little jumper harness for my OBD2 distributor to go to my OBD1 plugs. So I'll just grab that from him tomorrow at work. But other than that, the engine bay is pretty much done. The rear end is done. I just gotta tighten my rear toe links and then finish putting the front end together and then do the inside stuff. Just finish putting the inside together. And I need belts and stuff. But I'm gonna end this video here. I'm really sorry if it was boring or if like my lack of actual labor in here, more or less updates. Like I said, I'm a one-man show right now. I've only had my brother help me here for a few minutes at a time, like getting the mounts in and stuff like that. So although appreciated, it just sucks that like I've had to do all of this alone. It would have been nice to have some friends to come over and, you know, have a few beers with and just work on the car. But you know, it's Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully you guys had a good day. Thank you to those vets out here that watch my videos, if any of you are. And yeah, I'm just gonna end this video here, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. As always, you know, you guys already know what to do. Do what you love, you got the rest. Hopefully this next video will be running. And then also I will be making a video separately on making the exhaust and stuff, just because I don't want to fit this all in one video. I want more content, and I just don't want to make like a 40-minute video on a B swap. So anyways, guys, take care. See you in the next one. Peace out.